My name is Rebecca Keenan. I'm the head of process automation for Expleo Group. So we're a service provider, and there I run our global center of excellence. And essentially, I head up strategy, delivery, and innovation. So I'm actually based in Dublin at the moment, but we have teams right across Europe, North America, and APAC. And I think that's probably one of my favorite parts of my job is I've got to see the team grow, meet new people, new clients, and really just make a difference with what we're doing within the kind of automation space. I guess my day-to-day varies quite a lot. I don't think any week I have is the same as the last, but it kind of goes between sales and pre-sales, so crafting solutions for our clients, figuring out the best way to implement some of the technology we use. I'm also meeting with our teams, making sure that they're happy, that they're getting everything they need, innovation. So I think we're probably all aware in this market that it changes quite a lot. Every time I open LinkedIn, I feel like there's a new tool or a new solution being pushed out. So, we put a little bit of thought behind, well, what are we going to focus on? What makes sense for our team? It's kind of a happy accident that I ended up where I am, and we just haven't kind of looked back since. But about 4 years ago, I actually straight out of college, so it was my first job moving into Expleo, and I joined the business analysis service essentially. And I had come out of my educational background, which was computer science and business, so I had a joint degree, but I very early on made the conscious decision to retire my computer science part of that degree, or I thought I was going to make that decision. So I didn't want to go down the developer route, so that's why I was kind of in BA. And really about 6 months later, so I was still kind of fresh-faced, not really knowing what I was doing. I'm big enough to admit that now, but someone asked me if I knew what RPA stood for. And I said, no, never heard of it. And they said, well, can you go learn about it? And I said, oh, okay. And I went to Google, which I go to for many of my first endeavors when I hear something new. And I typed in RPA. I was so naive at the time when I think back now. And I said, oh, this is pretty cool. And I downloaded some of the tools, and I was like, oh, this is kind of exciting, robots. And I was always kind of interested in that process element of how can we take a process and, make it more efficient. And this seemed to fit really well. I then realized that our company, which didn't do this at the time, had a real opportunity to do it, because we're a big believer, and still a big believer, that to actually make a program like IA or RPA work, you need to take that business and technology focus. So again, when we look at, I'm not the developer. I was never the developer on the team. We have developers, BAs, project managers, change managers, and testers as part of our core role. So again, that's a very broad subset of, the types of talent that we hire into the team and the types of talent that we need to actually do these projects. So much fun working in this industry, and sometimes I think that's forgotten, but one of my favorite parts of my job is when you watch someone you just built their first robot for them, they're seeing it work for the first time, and their face just lights up. That's still one of the most simple yet favorite parts of my job. And the thing with RPA as well is every kind of tooling, Blue Prism, UiPath, AA, across the board, they're all moving towards creating an ecosystem for automation. So if you get into RPA, you're going to realize that very quickly you're then learning about other adjacent technologies as well. And you're learning about, that end-to-end automation and what that looks like. So, it's opportunity after opportunity to learn new things. And in my opinion, anyway, it's never boring.